It is not a divine invention. Human culture, human ethics, human beliefs, human economics, human politics, human relationships, human involvements, these are all human creations. They are not divine creations. To bring divinity into your creations, you yourself must introduce it. God is not in the middle of your dilemmas. God is outside of them. God calls you to leave them and offers you a way out, a way that restores your true abilities and your true relationships with yourself, with others and with the world. God's way is wise and effective. Yet unless you become wise and effective, how can you appreciate it? At moments when you are wise and effective, you will appreciate it. At other times when you are not being wise and effective, you will either deny it or think it is something else. You know, many people think that God is using everything as a lesson for them, as if God is pulling all the strings. When something good happens, it's a blessing from God. When something bad happens, it's a punishment from God. When something cruel or tragic happens, well, people are disappointed, and they secretly resent the divine for being cruel and heartless. Then they try to justify it by saying, well, it was coming, or they deserved it, or someone deserved it, or it had to be, or it is beyond our comprehension and we don't know. God does not work in the world like this. The world contains a set of forces that are working on their own. God is here to teach you how to negotiate these forces and how to utilize them effectively. God is not pulling all the strings, determining everything that is happening to you today and everything that will happen tomorrow. The world is in motion, and all the myriad forces within its mental and physical environments are in motion. God is involved in present time in the world without controlling everything. Rarely is there direct intervention. When this happens, it happens because it is welcome, because it is needed, and because it would further restore relationship to the person or persons receiving it. Beyond this, God lets everything happen. The tragedies that you see around you and throughout the world do not represent the work of God. The world is a dangerous place. It has many risks. Anything can happen here. You need to be aware. God would teach you to be aware. God would teach you to have vision. God would teach you how to protect your mind and your body, how to develop your skills, and how to use them effectively and constructively. This is God's work in the world. Without this relationship, you would be on your own, and you would suffer for this. However, there is greater assistance and assurance available to you. It is not a false assistance, and it is not a false assurance. It is real. And it will work through you and for you if you welcome it and are open to it, if you are sincere and if you do not try to use it for your own personal goals or advantages. God is at work everywhere in the world through knowledge. God knows you. You can only know God. Believing in God may be preliminary to knowing God, but believing and knowing are not the same. Many people claim they believe in God, either because they believe or because they are afraid not to believe. However, to know God is to come into relationship with God. This takes a very long time. Here many things are unlearned, and new things are learned in their place. Here many old ideas are cast off, and new realizations emerge. Here old problems are approached in a new way. Here little things are kept little, and great things are kept great. Here you learn to say yes to certain things and no to others. Here you give up your allegiance to guilt, to compulsion, to the need for approval, and to the need to take advantage of others in order to respond to a greater certainty that is slowly emerging within you. God does not interfere because you need to experience your own value and relationships within the context in which you live. Whenever you experience real affinity or recognition with another, you are validating God. Whenever you do something that you realize is necessary and you do it for reasons that you cannot justify or understand, you are validating God. Whenever you heed an inner warning and take the necessary steps and follow what you know, you are validating God. This is an experience, not an idea. This is fundamental. It is not merely a belief, a convention or a convenience. In coming into meaningful relationship with another, you will feel God. In telling the truth where truth needs to be told, you will feel God. In experiencing gratitude for something that has been done for you, even on a mundane level, you will feel God. This is how God is recognized and experienced. The rewards of this experience aren't only the experience itself but the relationships that are established, the actions that are taken, the difficulties that are avoided and the contributions that are made. God wants you to work in the world to make good things happen here. God is not asking you to leave the world and to become mesmerized with God. God is saying, you have important things to do. You came here to do them. I know it and you know it, so do what you know. You cannot return to your ancient home now. You have work in the world. You are learning about knowledge, you are learning about the way of knowledge, and you are preparing to take the steps to knowledge. Advance here and you will see that God is working in the world, and you will not hold God responsible for the mechanisms of life here. You will not hold God responsible for the tragedies that occur. You will not hold God responsible for human error. You will not hold God responsible for the creation of religions, beliefs and authorities. You will realize that God is working within you and engaging you meaningfully with others. This can only be appreciated as it is experienced. You may consider yourself a religious person or not, but you still have an opportunity to reclaim your relationship with God through the reclamation of your relationships with others. As you experience knowledge within yourself, you will verify the true relationship of your body to your mind and your mind to your spirit. As you experience true affinity and relationship with another and experience a greater purpose together, you will validate and verify your purpose for it coming into the world. This is how the memory of your ancient home is restored to you. This is how you return to knowledge within yourself. And this is how you feel the presence of God with you, the presence of your teachers, the unseen ones, and the presence of your true companions in life, those who have gathered to help you to carry out your mission and your purpose as you slowly realize what it is and where it needs to take you. We are not asking you to believe but to know. There is no devotion in belief. People believe because they are afraid not to. People believe because they think they must. However, no devotion, no commitment and no relationship come out of belief. Belief is always weak and faltering. It is easily assailed by the difficulties of life. The only value of belief is to restore to you your conviction that knowledge is alive and well and that your faith in it is justified. The value of belief is to fill in the spaces between those moments when you experience knowledge and real relationship. Belief and knowledge, however, are not the same. Real devotion and commitment can only arise from knowledge because knowledge is completely devoted and completely committed. It is committed to God. It is committed to carrying out your purpose in life. It is committed to the well-being of others. It is committed already. Returning to relationship with knowledge, you will learn to become committed to knowledge as knowledge is committed to you. Any relationship where commitment has not been established and accepted as a relationship that has not yet established itself. Think how rare real devotion and commitment are in human relationships. People need each other, cling to each other, control each other and won't let each other go, but this is not devotion or commitment. Devotion and commitment are something that come from within you. They are a natural outpouring of your spirit. They are an expression of knowledge. They are a recognition of your place and role with another. They emphasize a greater purpose beyond your personal interests. They emphasize your well-being and the well-being of the other person and demonstrate this. Think how rare this is in human relationships where people attempt to use each other for personal reasons, and think of all of the unhappiness and all of the difficulties that result. Relationships based upon knowledge are very different. You will not have many of them. They will be unique, and there will be a great contrast between them and all the other kinds of relationships that you have experienced. Relationships for convenience, relationships for advantage, relationships for pleasure, relationships for acquisition. There is no devotion, no commitment, no recognition and no real affinity in these relationships. How different is a relationship based upon knowledge and what a different result it creates. When you experience real devotion or when you recognize it being experienced genuinely by anyone else, you will see the evidence of God in the world. Devotion is the highest expression of love. It is love's most complete expression. It is where a person chooses to give themselves to someone to carry on a greater purpose and to serve something more magnificent than their own personal interests, whether it be raising a family, carrying on a form of work in the world or fulfilling a mission in service to humanity. At whatever level it is expressed, this is something rare and wonderful in life. This is the evidence of God's work. While many people are expecting or demanding God to come forth for them and to give them what they desire, you can begin to see behind the scenes the real work of God, the work of God that restores people's relationship with themselves and with each other.